just get it. Ain't just on me, it's in me. I speak the truth, I'm a realist. I ain't just dedicated, I'm committed. Pull up white polo T-palm, ain't just sweat, VVS baguette. They know our next. Locked down 23 hours, 1 hour wreck. Look at me now, everything.
Happy Flex Friday, everybody. Got on my St. Patrick's Day shirt, but guess what? If you tried to pinch, you couldn't pinch an inch. Well, I ain't gonna lie, you could probably pinch 2 or 3, but I have been on it. We knocking it down, getting ready for summertime, y'all. And thank y'all so much for tuning in to STWF Studios. So today's Slaughta FiT, emotional content. And I'm already feeling a lot of my martial arts enthusiasts. Oh, he got that from Bruce Lee. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Bruce Lee came up with this thing called emotional content. Nowadays, we have a lot of cliches that sound real cool. F your feelings. No days off. There's no such thing as overtraining. All those things sound good, but they really are not true. You should never F your emotions. You should never forget about your emotions. You should have full control of your emotions and utilize them. We was given emotions for a reason. I would guarantee you, if you take emotions out the equation, no one would really care about nothing. That we wouldn't take pride in what we did. So emotions are a very useful tool. When I talk about emotional content, that is the opposite of vain repetition. For my biblical, spiritual people out there, the term vain repetition is usually reserved for the church. When people are just reading the scripture every day, and sometimes when you're reading it with emotion, he loved the world so much he gave his only begotten son. He died for my sins. Man, I'm gonna be the best. It's a different thing when you're emotionally connected to anything. When you're emotionally detached, that's a whole different thing. It is not as effective. So vain repetition, just like the church, definitely plays them. But how could that be? If you lifting the weights, you lifting the weights. If you're reading the word, you're reading the word. One is sustaining, one is fleeting. Repetition, if you're in church on a Sunday, you're going every Sunday. You're only going for tradition. This is an example. I'm not judging nobody. But let's say if you're only going to church every Sunday and Wednesday, Bible study Wednesday, you're only doing that because that's what y'all always do. You could be sitting right in the church reading the Bible. Man, sick. Who, Lord, man, boy, if this was old me, I would do this and that. And in fact, you are on what you would do to Miss Jenkins' salvation. That's another example of vain repetition. Yeah, you're going through the word, but your body, your mind got you and Miss Jenkins somewhere in a hot tub. That's the exact same thing when it comes to weightlifting, believe it or not. Schwarzenegger talked about it. You have 2 individuals working out side by side. Both of them have a 90-pound barbell in their hand. One dude is curling. Man, did I turn off the stove? Man, tonight when I get off, man, I'm gonna hope I don't miss that game. Man, did I come on too strong, old girl? Man, I hope I didn't come off as thirsty. You got another dude with the same 90 pounds. Oh, I'm finna get something out of this. You finna give me something. When you have that emotional content, man, I can hear the compliments now. Man, when they see me, man, I'm so tired of them laughing and disrespecting me. That type of emotional content will pull or push you a lot further towards your goals and on your journey, real talk. And some people think showing up is enough. Attitude is everything also goes into that emotional content. When you train with emotions, there's a shirt out, very popular, called Train Angry. Let me tell you something. When I tap into that mode, my workouts go to a whole nother level. And when you harness the energy of anger, it's not being pissed off at the world. It's that type of energy. I'm sick and tired of being fat. I'm sick and tired of being the worst looking one on every family photo. Man, when you hitting the weights with that, I'm tired of this S. I'm sick of this mess. When you hit the gym like that, your workout goes on a whole nother level. When your favorite aunt is about to pass away and you praying that God can spare her, that's not vain repetition. You praying with everything you got. If you done slipped up and messed up and got caught into something, and you might be facing many years in prison, and you praying and praying that he can intervene on your behalf, you praying so much more different than, oh, pray before you eat. Man, I'm hungry. Thank you, God, for this food I'm about to eat. May it bless my soul and may it be sweet. And you chowing down. Yes, you're thanking God for the food, but you're doing it just out of tradition, just out of routine. It's better to have some tradition and routine than not have none. You will never get the maximum benefits if you just sleepwalking through your routine. You just going through the motions. Two people spend an hour in the gym. One person is steady getting results. One person is actually getting worse. How could that be possible? I see it all the time. To the Metroflex gym. I've seen people there literally for the last 18 years. Some of them are looking exactly like they did 10 years ago, but because of age and their metabolism slowing down, they're actually looking worse. And they in the gym every time I'm in the gym. They're lifting the same weights. They're going through the same routine. You can look at their face. They lifting and looking around the gym while they lifting. If you are not dialed in, if you are not locked in, you're going to be locked out. You're going to be locked out and knocked out. So locking in is really the only way to win. Because when you're locked in, despite the outcome of the competition, the game, the studio session, when you were locked in and you gave it everything you had, then if the song ain't hot, the beat is just not one of those type of beats. I did my due diligence. It just, just not one of those staple songs, one of those fill-in songs. But you did not lose. You did your due diligence on a fill-in song. Sometimes this happens a lot in sports, to where a team beats a team they're supposed to. And people are like, well, they were supposed to beat them. But upsets occur when the team don't come locked in. Man, this team ain't won. Man, we are partying up late at night already. Look at them. We got to get 49 after we play them Bengals, for example. I know the Bengals is finally good. So when you overlooking the Bengals, let's say the Bengals haven't won but one game all year. That's what people call trap games. Underestimation. When you take something serious, you prepare for it seriously. If you're very serious about something, vain repetition may occur one or two times in one set. You might have one or two reps where you're thinking about your ex, but then you realize, I got these goons trying to break my neck. That's a different type of energy. When Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls went against the Detroit Bad Boys, boy, Detroit banged Michael, beat Michael, flipped him over, knocked him down, bam, knocked the Bulls out of the competition. What did Jordan do that next offseason? When he was lifting weights, he wasn't like, man, they beat us. Well, I hope. He was like, oh, next year, they not finna knock me out the paint like that. Next year when I come in the hole, man, I'm finna. And he had that energy, and he used that energy throughout that whole offseason. When he came back, y'all look it up, the same Detroit Pistons, those elbows, Jordan was, boom, taking them hits, laying it up, boom, taking those hits and dunking. You will always hear, not always, but anybody that knows sports, what do they say? Basketball, somebody, you hit a bigger dude and you back him up, weight room. Anytime you do something physical on the basketball court, you will hear NBA players, college players, high schools, holler weight room. Meaning they've been off in their weight room preparing for that. They have been ready for that. Another example of emotional content. If you've ever watched a sporting event and one team is down by 15 or 20, when you have a momentum switch, what makes a momentum switch? How do the losers start believing, and how do the winners start regressing to and giving up, conceding that first place spot? How did it happen? It happens through emotions. We've been getting dogged all game long. Every time I go up, not only is this dude talking noise to me, he's slapping that ball right down my throat and then standing over me. The bench over there, his bench jumping up. Ah! Did you know it's a scientific fact? When your team score a touchdown and your testosterone level rises. Yes, from watching sports. When your favorite boxer knocked that dude out and you see that, your testosterone level rises. When your quarterback, if he's Dak Prescott, when he throw that pick, literally your testosterone level, your emotions, your morale, that enthusiasm drops down. So in sports, when you see a team making a comeback, the emotional content has come into play. What do they do to the crowd when they start winning, when they start, y'all shut up? And they don't really have to tell them to shut up. The crowd is already shutting up because their emotions have changed. We've all seen the memes on TV with the Dallas Cowboy fans crying the year before last when the 49ers came in our house with that emotional content, jam box radio on their shoulder, they were swagged out. When they showed the Cowboys approaching the field, the Cowboys looked like they was heading for an execution, looked like they was standing right in front of the firing squad. And they played like it. Mike McCarthy came out and he said, well, honestly, we seem scared. Oh, well, I don't mean scared. You that, and we saw that. So if you've ever wondered how does game swing, the NBA is fixed, the NFL is fixed, ain't no way to come back. In all of life, you can see underdogs prevail and come back. The tortoise and the hare example. When the hare, meaning the rabbit, is so fast that he lets off the gas. He takes longer breaks than he should. He takes time off. Man, that's a turtle. Psst, that's a turtle. Man, I'm gonna stop by this barbecue. I'm gonna sip a little bit of that. Then I get back on the race. Whoa, Miss Betty got some chocolate cake. Go check out these Betty cakes. The turtle don't have the speed of the hare, but he just staying consistent. And in his mind, I'm not gonna stop. He way faster than he way ahead of me, but he gonna keep on taking me for granted. Now we'll get there. Emotional content. I'm gonna give you an example with some weights. Let me pick up some weights, y'all. Y'all check this out. This is a great example of emotional content. If you lift a weight, this is just lifting, y'all, right there. I'm just, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm lifting the weights. I'm gonna get some benefit out of it. But if you lift it without squeezing it, stop and squeeze. Just that squeeze, just that pause, even that, I'm sending that signal, that message, I mean this. Do it like you mean it. I mean this. When you do it like that, when you just, man, that car wash was packed, my car dirty, man, I'm gonna get back. No, but when you, oh yeah, I'm tired of them overlooking me. Boom. Oh, they're gonna respect me. Boom. I'm gonna show them. Boom. First, I gotta show me. Like when you're talking to yourself, that is a whole different ball game. You are connecting to your mission. You're not just doing vain repetition. You are actually doing it like you mean it. That is a big difference. If you got a supervisor, a CEO, a drill sergeant, if he's watching his employees, his soldiers, whatever, if he's watching them, if you got two guys working and one dude is kind of like, he looking, blowing off the dust, he's looking at it, he's prepared, he's eyeing that nonstop. He's looking at it like, oh, don't you go nowhere. That's emotional content. You got another dude, he checking the watch, seeing when the break is. He got the tool just sticking out of the screw, just kind of sitting there for a while, pull out his phone. The supervisor's observing that. This guy's physically here at work, but he's already on that date that he's got for the night. He's already anticipating this event that he's going to. This other guy, his only focus is the task at hand. When you are dialed in, it's going to show in your results. When you dialed in, it's going to show in the way you walk into a room. When you dialed in, Deion Sanders said, that's not even our cologne. We just smell like winners. Auras and energy is so strong and so real, it might as well be something you can smell, see, and touch. Those intangible things that we can't put our hands on, the things we can't, are the most powerful things on this planet. Faith, believing, and emotions. You should, even though they say F your feelings, you should, there's times to override your feelings. But without feelings, we are just going through the motions. That's the problem when companies start to fail, when relationships start to fail. There's an old song from Top Gun. She's lost that loving feeling. Whoa, that loving feeling. Yeah, I can sing. Oh, but see, she lost that loving feeling. You're going to see it in her eyes. You're going to see it in her energy. When a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. R. Kelly song, who shouldn't even be mentioning him, but now seriously. So feelings is what makes the whole thing go. It's the love for your children that makes a mother work 16-hour shifts, come home, cook, clean, and still get back up and do it. It's that love. Some people are so competitive, they can spend all summer long, for example, in cruise control, just beepity-bopping, just going through the motions, not giving 100%, not really giving 50%. They are so genetically blessed or financially well off, someone left them a big estate, they're not working hard like that person who ain't got nothing. They're not working hard like that person that comes from an impoverished country, some person that come across the border, some person that come from Sudan or Ethiopia or anywhere. They not working as hard because they got that hair mentality. Psst, I got this in the bag. The only thing I'm competing against is a bunch of tortoises. I got a bunch of turtles that I'm racing against. Man, I'm gonna stop and get water, man. I might run this race on some lean in slow motion and still burn them. And that's how people end up losing. And one of the most painful things in the world is to lose in a situation when you should have won by flying colors. So make sure, people, it don't just apply for the church people. It applies very strongly for the gym people. If you're alive and you're thriving for the next level, I don't care if it don't have nothing to do with sports, nothing to do with health and fitness, which your health should always be a part of your mission, honestly. But if you're someone who could give a hoot, you just want to become the next black billionaire, you just want to become the next millionaire, you just want to be successful at whatever endeavor that you choose, you will not, I repeat, you will not be able to compete when you step into a realm of people that are obsessed with their mission. When you run into someone who's obsessed with feeding their kids, when you run into someone who's obsessed with being the best, and you just think you can casually kind of do it, you're gonna get your doors blew off. You're gonna get knocked out of your shoes. You may get knocked out of your socks. You're gonna get knocked out the box if you are not coming with that emotional content. Fear is emotion. Just watch the video of Mike Tyson. And man, I wish I could quote him word for word. Mike Tyson said, his coach, Customato, said, fear is like a fire. If you control it, you can use it. If you do not control fear, It will consume and burn and destroy everything around you. Mike Tyson literally said on this interview, Cus D'Amato taught him how to use his fear for better, to train harder, to move faster, to stay locked in. Mike Tyson literally said, if I get to the point where I don't feel fear before a fight, if the fear goes away, I'm not going to fight no more. If you do not have a fear of failure, you are not going to take the steps to prevent failure, to prevent from failing. If you don't have a fear of consequences, if you don't have a fear of the penitentiary, what do they say? A man that has nothing to lose is dangerous. If there's someone who's been diagnosed with a terminal illness, they already bitter, they're already mad, they already feel like they've been effed over in life. They figure I'm finna die, or people, I've seen this. Bro, I got double life. When a dude tell you I got double life inside the walls, that means taking you out not gonna get me, I'm not getting out of here anyway. So when people have nothing to lose, they are very, very dangerous. If people didn't fear the penitentiary, we would pull out a gun and shoot everybody that disrespected us. We would plow through people in traffic. We would do so much, but fear is what makes you say, that lion eats people. I see that lion, I'm jumping up on the rock. I got this spear ready. Fear and common sense actually go hand in hand. I'm 80 feet above the ground. I love walking, I love talking, I love my life. I'm not jumping down there 80 feet. If you take emotions out, you take common sense out. So people, do not be led by your emotions by any means. Do not be a slave to your emotions. Me personally, and this can go for a lot of people. Some people, I can be competitive with me. I'm just not competitive against the next man. And that doesn't make me, a coward or wimpy. I truly believe the only thing I can affect is what I do. I'm not training against him because what he does is not, I'm training against me. I'm the one who knows that I like to snack late night. I have to overcome that. And for me, my biggest button that I can push, that disrespect button, that underestimation. When I feel like someone is underestimating me or don't respect me at all, when I feel the lack of respect, I like to have fun, like to be a little silly and this and that. But that's just one element of me. Yeah, I like to have fun. I'm dead serious about my goals. I'm very serious about my mission. Just because I like to be lighthearted and have fun, please don't look, I ain't got to respect him. I ain't got to check in with him, or his opinion don't matter. He's not. So when I'm working out and training, I don't have to be disrespected to tap into that energy of being disrespected. Because what happens is, sometimes when I'm going through the motion and lifting weights, boom, I catch myself. Whoa. You really thinking about what old boy said 2 years ago right now? That's what you're thinking about instead of training? I'll get on my own tail. No. He don't get that time. This is your time. I've had to tell so many of my clients, man, my other trainer, this one lady I'm competing against, she posted something ugly on my page. I'll stop my clients. You talking about her doing your workout? She don't get none of this time. This is your time. Your ex-boyfriend, don't bring him into the session. That negative, jealous chick at work, don't give her that much energy to where this is your time to be working on you and you thinking about what she said. She's went. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. What does that even mean to me? And like I say, it's quoting a lot of scripture, not ashamed of scripture. I'm just not churchy at all. Very spiritual, but not churchy. Because when I hear no weapon formed against me shall prosper, if self was to say, Rod, you short with a bald head and you can't dance, he said it right. Now, I can feel that like, ooh, that stung a little bit because I am short. I do got a bald head, but he got me messed up on that dancing part. But if that sting a little bit, okay, that stung. That was not a compliment. But now, if I go on, He bald head, short. And if I just keep replaying that, guess what? That weapon is prospering over and over and over. Anytime you regurgitate stuff you don't like, anytime someone pisses you off so bad and you keep replaying that, letting them rent space in your head for free, and you keep replaying that, that is when the weapon is prospering. Bro, you ain't gonna never be. Boy, you can't sing. Boy, you can't sing. You get up there, you're so nervous, you're running out of breath. Now that weapon is prospering. When you learn how to manipulate and use your emotions to your benefit, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Because words are some of the biggest weapons ever used. And people think the prosperity of the weapon comes from someone delivering it. No, it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. You can take those verbal spears and slap them right up the sky, down the ground, and render them useless. Just slap them down, boom. That weapon didn't prosper. I've done this, we've been there. When 3 or 4 years later, you still bitter and hurt about what this person said or did to you, oh, that weapon is prospering over and over and over. That weapon is just like, it has dominated you. You drug into the ground, and that weapon is standing like a tower of prosperity over you. So when I hear no weapon formed against me to prosper, I think about anytime I've let something really bother me, that means I let it penetrate my armor. So when you come with emotional content, you already got that, I call it, they got me effed up attitude. Boy, when I tap into that, my workouts are off the chain. And that's why some days when they say no days off, if you are not emotionally into it, if you are not all the way dialed in, and you got to do something real serious, like some heavy legs or back, it's one thing to do the small muscle groups like biceps or shoulders. But if you know anything about working out, if you've ever really trained, the largest muscle groups in your body are below your waist, your glutes, quads, and hams. So your legs are the largest muscle group, the glutes especially. The second largest muscle group is your lats, your back. So the larger the muscle group, the more energy it takes to work them out. In life, the larger the task, the bigger the mountain, the more energy it takes to overcome it, to climb it. So if you want to tap into the energy it takes to be great, emotional content is the way. Self said something on last Saturday's podcast, Slamming and Jamming. You got to find your niche when it comes to networking. I think that was just so profound. It's the same thing with motivation. You got to find your niche. Jerry Rice said he was great because he played in fear. Mike Tyson said it was fear. Some people use anger. Some people use fear. Some people use past disappointment. Some people like me use the respect thing. I don't use disrespect. I use respect. No, I'm doing this for respect. So as Self would say, find your niche. Just because mine is, oh, they got me effed up, I feel disrespected. Disrespect to some people make them shut down. Some people may feel disrespected and feel like, oh man, why don't they respect me? Man, I've been trying, and they start closing down and they become wimpy from disrespect. Some people let disrespect push them, make them boil over with anger, to where they missing every punch, they missing everything they shooting at because they so angry. Some people, fear is enough. Man, I've seen people do some amazing things to get away from a dog, a spider, a roach, a wasp. Fear can be a very powerful thing. Find your niche. Find what makes you really want to go. Stop letting other people push your buttons. Look at your emotions like buttons. Anger, love, fear, and just say, you know what? I'm going to turn that one down when I go off into this meeting. Me and this dude, we bump heads. We have certain ways we just don't see eye to eye. I done already left the house arguing with my girl. The dude already cut me off in traffic. My energy is already kind of Let me stop for a second. Let me meditate. Let me breathe. Visualize your buttons, your emotions as knobs. I'm gonna need to turn this one up. I'm gonna need to turn this one down. That's the process, people. That sounds, I know this sounds cliche-ish, it sounds kind of cute. It sounds like, oh, it's not ever as easy as it sounds. It's gonna take some repetition. And you're not gonna get there through vain repetition. Oh, I'm gonna do this movie. Oh, I'm finna get in shape this year. The way you talk to yourself, the way you talk to others, all of that stuff, it goes again. Tap into what works for you. Just because it's worked for Ronnie Coleman don't mean it's gonna work for you. Like my man said, find your niche, find your way, find what makes you go. When I was in the sales department, they would always say, make sure you find that person's why. Why find that why? Whenever they start negotiating price, keep their reason right in front of their face. But you said you was tired of being out of shape. You agreed that your wife would enjoy you more if you was in better shape. We both agreed that this workout would be great. Don't you think this? Yes, yes, yes. In sales department, they get you to saying yes. And then when they throw that price, you feel awkward saying no. And it's all mental. In sales, it is a part of mental manipulation. Manipulate your own self. Manipulate your own emotions. When I say manipulate yourself, when that alarm clock go off and you say, I don't feel like getting out of bed, turn that discipline switch up and think about, begin with the end in mind. What am I going to look like this time when we go to the beach? Am I going to be the only dude at this pool party with a shirt on because I don't want my man boobs and my fat stomach to show? That may motivate you. Find something that makes you go in hot. Do not go in cold and lethargical, just going through the motions, vain repetition. Make sure that you tap into and incorporate emotional content. Thank y'all so much for tuning in right here at STWF Studios, right here at Slaughta FiT. Ow! Happy St. Patrick's Day. And again, you can pinch, but you can't pinch an inch. Slaughta done gotta. We out. Bodybuilding thing.